Hey, Mike Robinson with BlackHawk Paramotor, and today on Coffee with Mike and Mike, we've got Harley Milne, the 50 times challenge guy. How's it going, Harley?
Doing great. It's nice to be here this morning.
Good. I see we've got the missing man formation going.
I know, you told me this is Mike and Mike, and he's not here.
No. Well, turn the chair around.
That way?
Yeah. We'll face him that way. Anyway, we got his coffee cup, but yeah. Mike's up in Oregon, taking a little time off, a little breather.
Yeah, he's been busy. So.
Yeah. So this coffee is like badass.
Damn. Where's it from?
Black Rifle Coffee Company. Yeah, they're out of Utah.
Utah?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a veteran-owned company. Everybody, I guess, works there is a vet. They support law enforcement, etc. And they sent us some of this coffee.
It's good.
A few weeks ago, and yeah, some of it's high octane, man.
Yeah, might keep me going during some of the long mornings, right?
That's right. We'll give you a pound of that coffee to take with you. Anyway, so Harley last year flew all 50 states, right?
Yeah, well, started in November and finished in June this year.
Okay, gotcha.
So 7 months, yeah.
7 months he flew all 50 states, including Hawaii?
Including Hawaii. That was the inaugural state.
Wow. What about Alaska?
Alaska was the very last state. So.
I think I'm not going to get you, huh?
No.
Puerto Rico?
Well, that's not a state. It's a territory.
That's right. Thought I was being smart.
I did try to, get to fly DC, but that was a very nightmare. But it turns out it can be done if you know the right people.
I don't want to know those people. So, you've got this new challenge coming up. Before we get to that, what was your favorite state to fly in?
Oh, I'm not allowed to say that. I mean, every state has its thing. South Dakota flying the Badlands, absolutely.
That's the best, huh?
That was a huge
Harley.
It was very good. Flying Mount Rushmore, yeah. That's not something to be taken lightly. Yeah.
We're at Oshkosh every year as a vendor, and a couple of the years I've driven the trailer and stuff, and I just love that country. And, don't they really hot?
I don't know, I don't follow the politics side of things, but I enjoy driving through the state. There's so much to see, and
Well, let's keep going on that part.
okay.
She's hot. I think that it's South Dakota, Kristi Noem.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd vote for her for president.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you might have to wait another 4 years.
Tell me about it. If we're still here. Anyway, I'm sorry. So South Dakota was cool. Where else?
South Dakota, it was a huge privilege for John and myself to actually fly in Pioneer Field in Oshkosh. And we did actually record an interview, and I'm not sure when that's going to get published by EAA, probably between now and next year.
Yeah. Well, it was a bummer that EAA was canceled this year. We will be there next year, as well as a lot of other paramotor enthusiasts, I'm sure. Can you imagine how much money that town lost?
It's just, I know even for those that work in Oshkosh, it was a huge thing not to be able to do it. And of course, even a bunch of those people have been furloughed for a little while. So it's just not having that event has hurt a lot of people. I can only hope that things settle down real soon and get back to some form of normality, that we can get our economy really moving again.
I'm not sure if our government wants us to have that. We usually don't want to get political on this show, but my thought is the government is completely opposite of where the people are and should be, and there are so many people that their livelihoods are really at stake right now. It's a shame. So for all of those of you out there that are having a difficult time right now, hang in there. So let's get on with it.
Yeah,
I can get kind of political.
I can tell. Yeah, let's move on to the next trip.
Okay, so Pioneer Field was cool. What else?
I had an opportunity to fly super interesting from the perspective that you actually talk to the tower and got permission. You're all laid out and ready, and okay, I'm ready to roll. And
on approach.
yeah, exactly. So it was very cool. Of course, that's super cold that day. But things even like going down to Sedona, Arizona. I mean, I had the fortune to fly a lot of great places, and of course, a lot of other places that didn't get enough time. I mean, there's definitely more of the southern part of the country that I'm looking forward to flying because I didn't get to do that as part of the 50 state.
Right. That's cool. What about Washington? Where did you fly in Washington State?
Washington State, I flew in Puyallup.
Puyallup?
Yeah.
Wow, I used to live pretty close to Puyallup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, you pronounced it right.
Yeah, well, I had some help from Tyson, so
Right.
he's a super cool guy, and I think I flew probably every wing he had for me to fly while I was out there. I think we literally lined them up. I think there were about 6 or 7 different gliders, and we flew them back to back. Literally fly, take off, come back, land for the next one. And it's a huge, huge opportunity to just get a chance to try different gliders.
There's some great places to fly in Washington. Eastern Washington is cool. It's like a different state. And then, of course, the Sound. I spent a lot of time up there. Flew throughout the Sound, Long Beach. It's pretty cool places.
I would have liked to spend more time in Eastern Washington. There's definitely, I think by then I had already booked my trip out to get Alaska done. And it was time to sort of, go through. I'd slowed things down a little so that I could spend some time in Wyoming and Montana. So
Yeah.
that was super cool. And then, of course, to go to Yellowstone was really fun.
So you mentioned Alaska. I flew up there in Juneau, and we got really lucky. It was like 68 degrees, t-shirt weather, and that was a great experience. It was a lot of fun. I've also surfed Kodiak Island. That was scarier than shit, but the waves were good and cold. The water was cold. Outside the ambient temperature was okay, but cold. But yeah, there's more bears in the island than you can imagine. And they're big. Like the heads are like this big. The hats are like that. Not an exaggeration. What you see in pictures is nothing compared to what reality is up there.
Yeah.
A whole different world.
No, it's definitely the last frontier. It's wild out there. You notice that straight away when you get out there.
Yeah. I mean, we were flying along the shore when we were up there, and you have these cliffs that are like 200 feet up with pine trees growing like this up them, and then you have these big cobblestones, and then the water, basically ice is in the water, I mean, it's like, you don't want to go down there, and you're not going to go there, and you're cruising around a corner, and all of a sudden, there's a Grizz. They don't even look at you.
Yeah.
They didn't even look at this big shadow of the glider going over them 20 feet above, because we're not buzzing them on purpose, they just happen to come around the corner, there they are.
Yeah.
They don't even look up at you.
They're not afraid of anything out there. The moose are just as bad.
Oh, they're mean. Anyway, all right, so we better get on to your new trip here, okay? Now, your 50 times challenge, all 50 states,
Right.
what equipment were you flying?
So I was flying my BlackHawk Kestrel D3 frame, and I think I actually got the first of the Aussie engine that you started selling.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Good. So you flew the Moster 185.
Yeah.
The Kestrel D3.
Yeah.
And then what glider?
I had the Dudek Snake 18. In fact, I started the trip on the old Velocity Nitro, and I used that for the Hawaii portion, and flew in California, and at that point I was kind of Snake out, learning how to fly the thing.
Yeah. Is that Joe Cruz's old nitro?
Yeah. Yes.
That thing has hours on it, man.
It's got some hours on it. I actually about 2 years ago I had it inspected and a couple minor little repairs on it, and it's probably going to be good for a few more hours. And Joe was kind enough to give that to me, and I was able to give that to Mike Chow, so he's flying it now.
Oh, good. It's kind of been passed down. I know, Mike.
It's making the rounds.
All right. So everything worked out good, equipment-wise and everything?
Yeah, I mean, everything was very reliable. Of course, I had a couple little minor mishaps in Branson where I chopped one or two lines, brought the guide up too quickly, and I was still learning the snake. And I think the big thing was I hadn't figured out what the right adjustment was on the brakes to really have control of that glider.
And different wind conditions. I mean, no wind, the glider is completely different than if it's got wind. The snake fires up if there's a bit of a breeze.
It does.
You got to check that thing quick.
Definitely, I like to say I didn't really learn to fly properly until I maybe got to Florida, but I certainly learned how to fly the snake when I got to Florida. Just the most ideal conditions to do that. Of course, I've put a lot of hours since then. I think probably more than another 100 hours since Florida. So
yeah, you've been flying a lot
of time.
So tell everybody what the intent is with this trip and where you're going to take off from, where you're going to finish.
So this is about setting a record. While Jean-Francois Chevard has, I hope I'm saying his last name correctly, but he did Paramotor the Americas, and he's more or less flown the whole coastline from the west coast all the way out to Key West. And but there was a small section he didn't actually fly, and so basically this is my opportunity to not only fly all the way from the west coast to the east coast, but also try and set a speed record and perhaps some other records in the process.
So you're taking off from where? San Diego?
Yeah, so just south of San Diego, pretty close to the border, and we were able to secure an LZ with some help from our friends in the Navy and from the YMCA. And so the YMCA actually are going to help us be accommodated there.
There's actually YMCAs?
There's a YMCA down there, yeah.
That was a great organization back in the day. I don't even think they're still around.
Yeah, no, they've been incredibly helpful, along with Anthony down there to help secure that location, and so really get us off to a good, healthy start with a nice straight track, literally getting out of town and over the mountains. Cool.
Awesome. Okay, so you say you're setting a record. How many miles is this, and where are you going to finish? Because if anybody else wants to set this record,
right,
they've got to start from your spot,
yeah,
and finish it.
They're going to have to set basically the same route, and so this, this record is going to be recognized by FAI and the NAA, and I've had a lot of help through Leah Catula to work with the USPPA and the US Ultralight Association. So all these organizations are super excited about this because this will be the first time in 10 years actually that we're going to set records here in the United States that will be recognized.
That's really interesting. Yeah. Is she helping you acquire the monitoring gear and everything?
Yeah, so actually the flight recorders, which are approved by the FAI, just arrived in San Diego today.
Nice.
And so we have monitors all trained and ready to go. And it's been whirlwind because FAI, when I had originally contacted them, didn't show a lot of interest in working with me. And then
why is that?
I'm not really sure. Probably I wasn't asking the right questions or really making clear what I was trying to do. But Leah Catula, of course, was listening in on our Paramotor Nation, and she said, like, you absolutely have to do this. The U.S. delegate, we're going to make this come together. And so in a matter of weeks.
A record's not a record without it being properly monitored. I mean, remember when Bear Grylls flew over Everest? I think he actually went over Everest,
right,
but everything froze, right? So there was no proof of it.
Yep.
Whether anybody's going to try to do that again or not, I don't know. That was a pretty expensive ordeal, I can imagine.
Well, I had been working with Guinness, and of course, they're still working through the evidence for that we collected from the state charger. That should.
Okay, so Leah's doing a good job at helping you get situated there, and everything's down in San Diego.
Right. And
where are you finishing?
So the plan is to probably a little south of Jacksonville. We've got a scooter on the Class D airspace there, and depending what the weather does, whether it's south of Jacksonville or north of so
why not finish it right field? I mean, that's
So
like cool.
we've talked about that, and
That's pretty much straight across too.
yeah, it's not really. It's a little further. It's about an extra 500 miles for us to go do that.
Well, then I guess you flew across the United States.
Yeah, well,
I think you should do right field.
Well, if the weather keeps doing what it's doing, yeah, there's a chance we may have to go a little further north. So anything's possible, and that's what's really interesting. While the route's been very, very carefully planned, and we have planned each location to refuel and safety checkpoints every inch of the way. I mean, literally every 25 miles an hour, every 25 miles, we have a place to land and a place to refuel. And while we expect to be covering, nearly 100 miles, maybe even more on some days, the route could change, and it may change based on what the weather is doing. We're in an El Nino year, so this is not the easiest year to try to do this.
You're only thinking of covering 100 miles a day?
Oh, no.
I was going to say, that's not much of a record. Heidi flew like 118.
Yeah, no.
In like 3 hours.
We're talking 100 miles in one flight. Most people only cover maybe 50 or 60. If we're lucky, maybe they get 70. Yeah. If we get lucky, we can do upwards of 300 miles in a day.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
Realistically, anything more than 200 miles in a day is very respectable.
Right. So you can fly any gear you can get. So what did you choose to fly this time? Because it is a little different than what you flew last time.
Yeah. So I talked to. I mean, I've been flying BlackHawk for 5 years, and honestly, I've loved every unit that I've had, and I enjoy flying them. Really, this Corsair engine and the combination with the much lighter frame from BlackHawk and the sheer strength and durability of it, I have no doubts in my mind that we're going to succeed.
Well, you can't have really any failures because that really jeopardizes the record, whether it be a prop failure, an engine failure, you have a hard landing, that frame needs to withstand that and keep going. You just don't pull out extras, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, while we do have some spares, time is of the essence, right? We've got short days, and every hour that we can fly.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, the days are a lot shorter right now. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the plan is to try and fly all day, every day.
It does get cold in the south, right? You do know that.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to go over the
It's like freezing rain right now in Texas.
Yeah,
Chris Harley, you're going to look like this, who was it, in Dumb and Dumber, Jim Carrey, and, they're riding that mini bike with frozen snot.
Well, you got to remember, I was in Pensacola in February this year, and the lizards were freezing off in Florida, right? So I can't have that. I didn't want to wait till February again.
So you've been really impressed with the 172 by Corsair. I'd seen your video, okay?
Yeah.
And we gave you the engine. I've really not had much of an opportunity to talk to you.
Yeah.
Sit down. I've been busy. You've been busy.
Sure.
Yeah, it's impressive, is it not?
The more I fly it, the more I'm loving it. I mean, first of all, the fuel efficiency on it blew me away. It's much quieter. I know when we start out in the sport, we like the vibration and the noise, and it sounds cool. But the longer I fly and the more closer to suburbia we fly, I like something that's quieter. And this just has a nice, good, solid growl to it. And
it sounds like a four-stroke in a way.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. More and more people are starting to emphasize quiet because we are starting to expand, and we're getting into areas that, people think it's cool when you fly by them one time and you buzz by them another time. It's loud and it's obnoxious. Yeah. And the Moasters they're loud.
Yeah, I mean, they of course, every frame has different noise levels as to how they vibrate and so forth. I think what I'm also really liking with this Corsair is that, the power, particularly with the Helix prop, I don't know what it is with this new frame, but I feel the power a lot more than I've done in the past. And that may just be the configuration, right? Helix went all out to try and actually figure out which was the most fuel efficient prop that I could fly across the country.
And you had 3 blade.
And 3 blades, so 133 blade prop.
Well, the Kestrel frames, and I don't know if everybody knows this, but your engine is mounted on rubber, right? To your frame. What's different about the Kestrel is we isolated the mounting, so the engine is mounted on the rubber engine mounts to the plate, and then the plate is on rubber to the frame. It substantially reduces the harmonics in your vibration and what you actually feel on your back. I thought it would make a difference because it made sense, but on your back, wow, it's just different.
Yeah, I mean, you know, all the all of these changes, right? I mean, I've been flying that Kestrel Frame for what, 2-3 years now, and I think I might have missed version 1, but I've had version 2 and 3, and this latest Elite frame, I mean, I'm really just the weight difference. You know, admittedly, I don't have electric start on the new engine, but when you take out all the extra things, this, I'm carrying a whole extra gallon of fuel, and it's almost a gallon and a half more fuel. So in fuel alone, I think I'm at 28 to 30 odd pounds, and that's going to give me probably about a 3-hour range, maybe more if we've got tailwinds.
Yeah, and BlackHawk's new tank is quite a bit bigger. It's an option, but I like how the filler neck is angled. It's a little easier to fill than the other one was.
Yeah. I'm not used to it being on the other side, though. I guess I will get used to it. Normally on the right
That's
side.
true. I didn't think about that. I just fly mine.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
it's good
so
you have somebody else who fills yours up for you.
it's usually a girlfriend. Just kidding. Just kidding. Anyway, okay. So hey, somebody's told me about this new helmet that you got. What's with that? I mean, everybody's raving about it.
Yeah. I wanted to have something cool for this trip, and it was also about the practicality of having different visors. A lot of times these things fog out when you take off, and I needed good communication systems, and I wanted a lot of redundancy. So I actually approached Genentech and Organis. I'm embarrassed to say I can't remember that. Capwell is the other company. A gentleman at Capwell was able to hook me up with this helmet.
Does it have heaters and AC and shit in it?
The AC comes naturally, no heating, unfortunately.
Well, you got this thing with you, man?
Yeah, all right, give me a second.
Hey guys, Black Rifle Coffee Company.
All right, I can't hear very much with this on, right?
It's Ant-Man.
There you go. No GoPro on it today.
What's going to happen with all the wind hitting that thing?
No, honestly, it's amazing, right? So I've been flying with this now for several weeks, and I can hear aviation and talk to them.
Don't land and there are little kids around. You're going to freak them the hell out.
I like a BlackHawk helicopter pilot.
I got a way more modern helmet than that.
Oh, you need a better one? All right, let's see how he does. This I gotta see, because, oh yeah, I think it might work.
Breaker break. This is the bomb. This is bomb.
Yeah.
He hooks this thing up to 240.
Are you able to even actually blow some air in that thing?
It's all leather, man. It doesn't do shit. Yeah. It's called a Gentexite.
Yeah.
This was actually my dad's helicopter helmet. He was a crop duster. Almost 13,000 hours helicopter time, and this is what he wore. And you know what? Dad didn't do shit. No way. Anyway. Oh, yes.
Yeah, flotation.
Yeah.
Really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You pull it. I don't want to pull it. But yeah, pretty cool.
We'll just give it a quick yank here.
Yeah. That thing's so tight and so small, man. It's probably full around my face. Anyway, this trip is going to be awesome. I'm hoping to get down there and see you off. And then who's driving back?
I have a whole crew with me, right?
Yeah.
So we have, I believe, 6 of us starting out of San Diego, and of course I've still got the team doctor and our meteorologist, which are located in other parts of the country. But there'll be 5 of us along the whole road. So I have basically 2 vehicles with 2 crew members in each of those, and that includes my public relations director, Cynthia, and of course Greg Anthony Harris is going to be our official team photographer, so he's going to be capturing a lot of the good stuff that's out there. And of course I have Ray and Tom Pierce that are my crew chief and ground crew. So it's 5 of us to go make this just to make it along the road, so it's pretty cool.
That'd be cool. It'd be exciting for them too, following along with you. I was thinking the other night, it would be a really cool idea. Everybody gets to see how Harley does in this, and the record that will be set in order to be beaten.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But what I thought would be really cool, and Mike and I were talking about this the other night, would be to get like 5, 6, 10 people all there in San Diego and do a Le Mans start. Boom, the gun goes off, you run to your paramotor. Even though I know it's a long distance thing, that'd be pretty cool, right? But to have 5, 6, 10 people actually with ground crew racing for that destination, that would be pretty cool.
I think there's potentially an opportunity for that somewhere down the road. I don't know that I have approval to have more than myself take off from the LC for this trip, but down the road, and of course, people are welcome to come and fly a leg. So if they come to one of the airports where we're landing and they can take care of themselves and want to get in the air and take off, that's fine. Obviously, I'm going to be fairly busy. My team is busy, but it'd be great to just meet people along the way. We are in interesting times, so just be sensitive, and we're going to have a great time. And I hope to get to meet a lot of great people along the way.
I'm sure you will. Well, to end today's segment, good luck to you and your crew. Godspeed, and you guys all be safe. Don't take any unnecessary risks. It's not worth it. It's not like we're getting paid to do any of this, right?
Well, I am very grateful to BlackHawk, to Corsair, Dudak, and Grylls, and everybody else that have come together to make this even possible. Honestly, it's very humbling to have had everyone say yes and come together to make this happen.
Yeah.
So I hope to be successful. I will be successful, and I'm looking forward to being a good ambassador for the sport and for the sponsors. Thank you.
And to Ryan and Amanda Shaw, and thank you. Certainly Alberto and Evelyn at Corsair.
Yep.
This company's been amazing to work with, and they're really great people.
Bjorn at Helix as well. Right. He really did pull out the stops for me.
Yep. Good job, Bjorn. All right. Well, guys, thanks for watching Coffee with Mike and Mike, or the missing man, Mike. He'll be back next week, and we'll get on with some more Coffee with Mike